I thought was a team suit up, and I was like, all right, we're going to war. This is the end of the season. And my last two notes were, no way that's how it ended. Oh, people are going to be pissed. Welcome back into the world of Westeros. I'm your host, Kev BK Beloved, covering sports among other things. This obviously being among other things. And we are here covering the season 2 finale. And I say we because I got a friend on me today. My guy De-La Wonk is with me, Grammy nominated writer, but more importantly for the day, a guy nerd just like us. How you doing, brother?
Yes, sir. I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm so excited to be here. Let's go ahead and cover this nerd.
Let's go, brother. Let's go. So, just watched the season finale, and I haven't looked at any of the reactions yet, but I'm assuming there's going to be some mixed ones, because if I had to relate it to anything without getting too graphic, because this will be on YouTube and I won't get this taken down, it kind of felt like edging towards the end of the episode.
When I saw that finale, when I saw the ending, I was like, man, you really did bring me to the edge, and just, you know what I'm saying? You didn't complete. You didn't let me finish.
Exactly. But it's just, and before we go scene by scene like we usually do, you could really feel the Warner Brothers / HBO was penny pinching at the moment. We were going to make a 10 episode season. This was episode 8. This was episode 8.
Was 8 of this season, and this was the finale. I was like, man, where's my other 2 episodes?
And and there were certain parts of the year and the whole season that I was like, all right, that kind of feels rushed, but I'm cool and I'm good. All right, it's all gonna pay off in the end. And now that we're at the end, I'm like, okay, the 2 episodes of budget were cut. Somebody, probably David Zaslav, came down to the creators of this show and were like, hey, y'all can either have all these dragons and have them not look like PlayStation 2 graphics, or you can have your 10 episodes.
I will say that is true, because rewatching season 1 compared to this season, the CGI was much better. So much better. That's where the budget went. Yeah, that's where the budget went. The dragons were really hidden this season compared to last season. Compared to Game of Thrones,
my God,
the dragons were hidden
so much more, and you can really tell that's where the budget went. And all in all, if I had to sacrifice 2 episodes and end on a teaser for the next 2 years, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be fine. What?
Sir Simon Strong was coming out with them outfits, like
he had that shit on. He had that shit on.
He was dripped down, so I see where the budget went to. If not for the dragons, Sir Simon Strong's fit alone was where the budget went to.
Trust me, you know we love a good fit check on the show. We gonna get to these fits. We gonna get to these fits.
Later.
Yeah, we gonna get there. All right, so let's start getting into this episode. Opening up, our guy Tyland goes to the triarchy, and it's a lot going on with our guy Tyland.
First of all, Tyland is a G. Because he was taking them licks, he was taking them hits, and he just kept on getting it back up. Like, I was watching that, and I was like, wow, this man Tyland is really, really putting up for Team Lannister. Like, he was getting beat down, but he did not lie down.
Before we even get to the mud wrestling part, though, like, when he was sitting surrounded by all the people, and I guess this is more so Game of Thrones baggage I have, watching a Lannister beg was off some like Jeepers Creepers Twilight Zone type shit.
And that's why I brought up the mud wrestling, because watching him beg was really embarrassing. It was really sad to see.
Tywin would never. Cersei would never.
First of all, why did old girl keep on mispronouncing his name? She called him Tywin, Helaena, like anything but Tyland. Like that was crazy to me. Like, and he just let that go. Like, he just let her keep mispronouncing his name. He tried to correct her a couple of times, but eventually he was just like, yeah, well, yes, you can call me whatever you want.
When we get to that scene in particular, HBO's caption did something that made me laugh hysterically when I saw it. But old girl that was brought up is Admiral Loha, however you pronounce shorty name.
Yeah, and then they did try to like bait switch us because they were like, he, like the like a male pronoun. They were like, yeah, our admiral, he. And then when she pulled up, I was like, hold on, this is a woman.
Yes,
like this is Brienne of Tarth.
No bullshit. No bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
They brought Brienne out the cut, and it's a lot going on with her. But all in all, we leave that scene. He trades the stepstones essentially in exchange for, we're gonna go ahead and handle the blockade for you. But next season we'll see how that goes. Next, we get to Vhagar and Aemond in a scene I titled "White Boy Rage Knows No Bounds," because he felt small for the first time since he was a child. He decided that all of Sharp's Point got to burn for it because he got out-dragoned and now everybody else got to die. Sharp Point ain't had shit to do with the fact that you were now out-dragoned. Now look at him. They got to go.
He went after the men, the women, the children, the small folk, like nobody that had anything to do with the war, but he just went after them.
Meanwhile, Ulf made him look like a hoe in front of the whole King's Landing, and he gonna go take it out on Sharp Point.
Like, how you let Ulf fly his whole dragon? You let him fly Silverwing all over King's Landing. Y'all have all them scorpions posted up on the wall, and you didn't even shoot one arrow. Didn't even hit Silverwing once.
I'll do you one better. Last week I brought it up. I was like, isn't Vhagar's whole job to make sure dragons don't fly into the city? Isn't that her entire job?
Exactly.
Old
we
women,
had
man.
to watch Aemond hop on his horse. He had to ride all the way out to where he be keeping Vhagar posted just to hop on Vhagar and do nothing. Did
absolutely
all that,
nothing.
Nothing.
All that to tuck your tail and run.
I'm just saying, if I'm Vhagar, I'm gonna be a little bit offended.
Just a touch. And speaking of offended, our guy Aegon, we get to him. He all burnt up. He all messed up. Now that we're past this, I can bring up the point in the book that they alluded from, and I'm very happy they did. This is one of the few changes they made. So in the book, his armor is burned into his body and he is fully mutilated. Like he's like half Tin Man type shit. Here they just decided to make him like, yeah, it's crazy. Like it's here they just decided to make him like half bandaged up again. That's probably for budget cut reasons, but it's also it just makes
for, my own personal viewing reason, because I don't think I will be able to, view that. Him fused to his armor. No, I don't think I could see that. Yeah,
be a little crazy for having to see that every single episode. But our guy Larys comes in and immediately says, yo, we have to go. We got to get up out of here right now. Aemond went out sad last week and he's going to take it out on you like he did on Sharp Point. We got to get up out of here.
Larys is my MVP for the episode because one thing Larys is loyal to the side that he chose. He could choose at any time to deflect to Team Black, but he chose his side. He's riding with Aegon and he's like, yo, my G, your brother is kind of spazzing out. He's kind of crashing out. We need to step
right now.
You. And you know what? I respect Larys for that. I respect him for that. I appreciate him for getting Aegon out of there because I'm not even Team Green like that. But if I was Team Green, Larys is my MVP.
Definitely an MVP performance. And there's a couple things I'll see brought up in the scene that I really want to get to. He made a pitch to Aegon off some run away together type shit. And it was kind of similar to the way that Criston Cole proposed to Rhaenyra. What was that? Episode 4
I want to say like
1?
4, yeah.
Yeah, episode
like 4, 3, yeah.
Same episode, Daemon came back from the Stepstones and all that shit. I'm going to reference that episode a lot because when
they went to Driftmark, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of callbacks to that in this episode. And I know that Aegon wasn't really feeling the whole goat fuckers in Bravo's thing, but to Larys' credit, he offered him goat and goat fuckers. Criston Cole offered orange and cinnamons. I like Larys' offer better, just saying.
What I will say about Criston's offer is at least it came with the promise of citrus. What you gonna do with all that goat? Just straight up, just meat. You know what I'm saying? Just lamb go all the time. Like, nah, I need some citrus. I need some oranges. I need some fruit. So, and cinnamon? Come on now.
Orange and cinnamon.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Sir Christian's offer was a little bit better, but I do agree with you that Larys definitely gave Aegon an offer that he cannot refuse.
He definitely couldn't, because the alternative was lose your life. But the important other things before we get off this scene. One, Aegon just ignoring him for a while is like, dude, I have no dick right now. I'm a eunuch. Like, bro, like it's gone. Like it blew up like a sausage.
First of all, I hate to interrupt you,
go for it.
Focusing on his dick that entire scene, like every time Larys brought up, like, yeah, like we need to step, he was just over here like, yeah, I don't have no cock, I have no, like, it's just like, my guy, you're focused on the wrong thing.
Is he though? Is he
you
though?
Have your life. Forget about your cock, please. Okay, because you're no longer Aegon the magnanimous. Like, you're not the dragon cock. Like all them names that his friends were trying to give him as lick spittles. Like, you're not any of those things anymore. What you are is Aegon the alive. Focus on that.
And you know what's crazy? Great transition by you. I don't know if you threw that lob on purpose or not, but I'm taking it. So Larys got him to leave because he hit him in the nickname button. He started throwing the nicknames out of you can come back and you could be Aegon the Rebuilder, Aegon to this, Aegon to that. And then Aegon hit him with I could be the realm's delight. Now, book reader enter again. That's Rhaenyra's nickname in the book. They only used it once in the show. And it was, again, episode 4, season 1, when they were doing the play where the people were like, she snuck out the back with Daemon and they were looking at the people on the play. They called her the Realms of Light. That's the only time they use it in the show, but in the book, it's her nickname quite frequently. So I don't know if that's going to hit for people who haven't read it. You can tell me.
You can tell. Like, I haven't read the book, so like, you telling me that she called the Realms of Light in the books, that's news to me, because what I do know is that she's also called Kinslayer in the books.
Yes.
And that's a big talking point for this season because of what happened with, rest in peace, Jacaerys, my guy. Yeah, like, he did not deserve that. Just a little kid. But yeah, like, the Realms of Light is news to me.
So, like, see, and that's the thing. I know they snuck that into the show, and I think that was kind of a wink and a nod to book readers, and was like, hey, you can see the light in his eyes light up like, hey, I can get back at my sister. I can take her nickname and her throne at the same time type shit.
Right.
But, like, again, if you haven't read it, I don't know if that's going to click or if that's just a throwaway line that's not even worth pulling up on. I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's not worth pulling out. I would say it is wasted on people that haven't read the books. But at the end of the day, I do think that it was a good inclusion, the Realm Delight, just for those book readers so they can be like, yeah, like that's her nickname. But also, like, later on, if they, touch back on it, if they call back to it, it'll really be, paid off in later seasons, I feel like.
I'm curious how many seasons this ends up going. That's a conversation for later, but
5 at most.
I hope it doesn't go past 5. There's some meat left
5
on the
at
bone,
most.
but the part of Fire and Blood this show is based on is 60 pages. So we don't gotta stretch this that bad. So
nope.
Moving on, we get to Rhaenyra's Great Adventure is what I kept calling the scenes where Rhaenyra is searching for the dragon, where she's just wandering through the forest and shit.
I don't know which scenes are more boring to me. Alicent on her little adventure in the Godswood, or Rhaenyra on her adventure trying to find Sheep Stealer. Like, both of them are just like, like, I don't know. Like, they're just filler, just padded scenes.
And okay, I'm skipping ahead a little bit here. We'll get back on track, I promise. To the point where they knew those scenes were such throwaways that they didn't even cover the part of Alicent making it back to the castle when she was talking about not going. They just showed her with Helaena in the room again. We don't got to break that scene down now, but we will get there.
I don't know. Didn't even show us what's his name, Sir the dude that accompanied
her new sworn protector.
Her new sworn protector. Like, we didn't even see him this episode, did we? I don't remember seeing him.
I think we might have. We'll get there. All right, so Jace bitter ass is still sitting there sulking. He walk in a room to the Dragon Seeds, big pouty. Walk into the room, tell Ulf take his feet off the table. Ulf like, or else what, nigga? and then he realizes it's the prince, and he's like, oh shit, my bad, bro. My fault. I ain't even mean to.
I think it's really funny the fact that like Ulf didn't realize who he was talking to until Hugh told him, like, bro, you know this is the prince, right? Like, you know, like, this is like the heir. Like, you really, like, you know what I'm saying, talking back to the man that can just have you hang. And that's when Ulf was like, oh, my bad. And stood up.
And at first there was a part of me that was like, how would he not know that's the prince? And I remembered, oh yeah, Jace grew up his entire life on Dragonstone, not King's Landing. So like, kind of hard to piece that together.
A commoner, yeah.
No bullshit. And then Ulf hits him in the hair button and said, hey, me and you, we're cut from the same cloth. And you could see Jace gets steaming because he hit him in the button. He hit him in the bastard button. I don't know if Ulf did it on purpose or not, but he hit the button. And Ulf is sitting there. And Jace sitting there mad, steaming from both ears. Meanwhile, Adam in the background just minding his business.
And me? From the same cloth?
Oh
No. Like, I think if it wasn't for Ulf and Hugh, Jace might have accepted Adam eventually.
Because Adam a good dude.
Adam's a good dude, but Ulf has no respect, no honor. He don't know how to conduct himself in court. That's what Hugh said. He was like, forgive him. He don't know how to behave in court because this man is not cut from the same cloth as Jace. And Jace to hear that was like, nah.
Ulf just got cloth last episode. He only one episode deep with cloth.
For that, he was in rags. You just got cloth.
No bull. Like, come on, man. What we doing? So speaking of which, Rhaenyra next scene on the dock with Lord Coryls is rightfully suspicious of the Dragon Seeds, and Coryls stamps like, nah, Adam good. I don't know about the other two niggas, but Adam good. Adam good.
I can vouch for Adam. He done worked on my ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my employee. You know what I'm saying? I know him.
Yeah. Adam good people, but them two,
They came from King's Landing.
That's that side of the family. I don't know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
But another thing in this scene that I'm still kind of iffy about is we get another Rhaenyra's trying to avoid war scene. And I'm like, my nigga, like it's been all season long where we have been saying, hey, bruh, war is inevitable. War is inevitable. What the hell was the point of the trip to see Alicent at the crypt if you still on that war is inevitable point? And you're talking to a man who lost his wife at a battle, still off his war is inevitable type flow. What are we doing?
At this point, I have to blame the writers because I'm not a book reader. I don't know what happened in the books. But all I can say is that the writers really want us to believe that Rhaenyra is desperately trying to avoid war, because I rewatched season 1 before the finale, this finale. Mm-hmm. And one thing that Rhaenys kept on emphasizing and kept on reiterating was that the only person keeping the war from happening was Rhaenyra. So like Rhaenys was over here like, yeah, we got to support Rhaenyra, because if it wasn't for Rhaenyra, all these people will be going to war immediately over the throne. And it's like, yeah, like the way that the authors, the way that the writers have like positioned Rhaenyra, she really is the only one keeping the realm from, you know, descending into war. At the same time, the war is happening. The war is here,
actively happening.
Happening.
You are standing in front of the ship that is being prepared to go to war. That is now named.
You cannot choose the direction of where this is going.
Right, and the ship that is now named after the queen that never was. Rest in peace, Rhaenys.
Rest in peace.
Also, just slyly, she called Helaena pussy in the middle of the scene. Not sure if y'all caught that. when they were like, they got another dragon over there. Who, Helaena? She ain't no rider.
Helaena?
Helaena?
She's not a rider. She has no heart for war.
She don't got the heart for war. Oh,
she's not built for this. Like, that's what Rhaenyra said. She was like, she's not built for this. Helaena, we don't got to worry about Helaena.
Yeah, nah, she off the board. But turns out she's right. but again, speeding again. We'll get there. We go to Daemon in the Riverlands again, in Harrenhall, walk around, making sure the army good. And then Sir Alfred bitch ass finally made it over to Harrenhall. It's fuck Sir Alfred all day and tomorrow. He went over there and immediately tried to turn on Rhaenyra. Immediately. He
told this man, Daemon, hey, if you wanted to grab the throne, like if you wanted to, like, you know what I'm saying, make your claim, I know some niggas that's behind you. I know we can rally behind you. And Daemon, credit to his character. Like I said, I'm not a book reader. So I think eventually Daemon does turn on Rhaenyra. Spoiler for those that don't know. But like, I think eventually he does turn on Rhaenyra. But in that moment, when I expected him to be like, oh, y'all riding behind me? Let's go. He looked this man in the face and said, I'm loyal to my queen. Like, he didn't take the bait. Respect to Daemon. I'm not sure if... So I had my closed captions on with the Max app or whatever. And I'm not sure if everyone caught it if you didn't have the captions on, but you heard the Godswood whispers, traitor. Traitor, yes. And you caught it when he came in? Caption, yeah. And you caught it when he came in? Yeah. That the Witch Hour bastard lady throwing lobs yet again. And didn't get to meet Rhaenyra when she came to Harrenhall, by the way. I thought that was good. Where was she at? Yeah, you didn't want to meet the queen? Alice, what we doing? She was ducking. She was hiding. She definitely was. She knew what she was doing. Yeah, she knew what she was doing. So the next two are kind of a combo scene. We get Aemond and Ironrod at first talking about, hey, small folk are still mad. We're running out of food. We're running out of gold. And Aemond's like, fuck him. He's still white boy rage. He's still white boy rage. Leading into the aforementioned, Alicent just appeared back in the castle now, is talking to Helaena, and is still on her run away with me type thing. One of the two times she offers someone to run away with her. We'll get there later. And then Aemond barges into the room and then tries to send Helena's ass off to war. That whole scene, now that we finally there, that whole scene was just comedy to me, because it's like you said, Aemond just burst into the room. He's like, Helaena, I need you to get on Dreamfire. I need you to go to war with me. Like, let's go. We riding out. And Alicent is just like an afterthought to him. Like, he don't even acknowledge the fact that she's in the room. Mind you, that's his mom. Right. But like, Alicent is like, hold on. You're not just gonna send Helaena out to war. Like, we're not doing that. And Aemond barely looks at her for a second and was just like, you have no authority here. You're not on the council. You don't sit anywhere. I got the exact bar. Hit her with when Alicent hits her with the Helaena is queen, just like you were. Exactly. Ooh. I was in the crib like, ooh. He said queen? What is that? It's just a title. You don't hold no authority. Not queen is just a word. Oh man, hit her. Oh man, that was one of them ones. Yeah, that was one of them ones. Yeah. But one of the things that stand out as always whenever Alicent's on screen, Olivia fucking Cook, man, what an actor. Man, that's why I wasn't even that mad that they wasted the last episode giving us like 3-5 minutes of her just, in the lake swimming, in the Godswood chilling. Like, at the end of the day, that's Olivia Cook. Right. Anytime you put her on the screen, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna pay attention. We locked in. Like, it's hey, anytime we get like extra random Alicent or even Emma Darcy as well, because they're an amazing actor, incredible actor. You can argue they're the best two actors on the show. So we'll get to. I'm speeding again. I mean, I definitely would argue with you on that point because I love Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook, but Matt Smith, also be cooking. And I'm not sure what Sir Simon Strong's actor name is, his real life name, but him and Oscar Tully, man, they took it for me.
He's definitely one of them ones. Sir Simon Strong is played by Simon Russell Beale.
Oh wow, his real name is also Simon. Interesting.
His name is Sir Simon Russell Beale. My apologies.
Oh, so he's like
he's
Sir
himself.
Ben Kingsley. He's knighted.
Yeah.
Okay.
He a whole knight. Shout out to our guy Sir Simon. I done sidetracked the hell out of us. All right.
So we were.
There's a nice little balancing the scales scene where you see our guy Black Maester, aka Maester Orwell, bouncing the scales before Alicent walks in talking about some, hey, I need some passage. We thought that was going to be her and Helaena running off until later in the episode we find out where she was actually going.
Yeah, it was also a shock to me.
Trying not to speed again, so we're going to get to Gwayne and Cole in the woods, where Gwayne finally calls out Cole for fucking his sister. And I had to rewind it and be like, how the hell he find out? And then I saw Cole was sniffing Alicent's favor like a creep. Was like deep inhaling that joint.
Was deep inhaling that napkin. I don't know.
Like it's a freaky ass, bro. Freaky frogs, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that whole writer room is freaky frogs.
He a fan. I'm telling you, when I saw that scene, I was like, okay, this man is deep into that napkin.
Very deep. I think he licked it. I can't confirm because I've only seen the episode once now. This is the least. Side note for people who are used to watching and listening to this, I usually watch these episodes before I do these breakdowns like 5 times. But since we're doing this immediately after, only got to watch it once. So like
this is basically like a reaction.
Pretty much. Only reason it's not live because I don't do live shit no more. Nah, it didn't go too well last time. So other notable things from this scene. Number one, Gwayne calls him out in front of the whole army and everyone's staring at him.
Everybody was listening. I was kind of surprised that they was doing it like out in the open, like in front of everybody. He had his sword out at this man's neck in front of everybody. In front of everybody.
I'm sitting there like, y'all know they can hear you, right? Like everyone's looking at you, bro.
Y'all know they can see you, right?
But then
forget about here, they can see you.
And then the moment that it cooled down and Gwayne put his sword back down, everybody went right back to minding their business, like, right back to this turning away. All right, let me get back to what I was doing. And Cole goes on like a nice little diatribe about how horniness is his downfall. And he was like, man, women, my lust of women is letting me away from honor.
I gotta say, Cole is the incel of the year because this man said, yeah, pussy has been my downfall. Every single time I have gone and chased some skirt has been my downfall. And he even told Gwayne, he was like, your sister saved my life because I was about to kill myself. I was about to commit suicide. And your sister found me and she was like, nah. Come be my Kingsguard. Come be my guy. And you don't have to do all this wild shit. So ever since then, he been like, yeah, fuck Rhaenyra, you know what I'm saying? Like the whore of Dragonstone, as he calls her. Like, nah, man. That man, Sir Criston, is dedicated to the cause. Like when they talk about like cultists, like someone that's committed to a cult, I feel like Sir Criston is the best example of a cultist because he believes in Team Green so deeply, so heavily. Like that's his ride or die. Alicent, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Aegon all day, every day.
I mean, have you seen Olivia Cook?
Hey,
I'm not even into that flavor of woman, and I'm like, I see the vision. I was like, I get it. I get it.
Adam bent the knee. I was like, I understand. When Adam bent the knee, I was like, I understand. I feel you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Emma Darcy, Olivia Cook, yeah. Either side, I bend the knee to each one.
I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. So I gotta get a couple of Criston Cole's lines in that were really important to the arc of the episode.
Okay.
One that was crazy True honor is a mist that melts in the morning.
Oh,
Woo!
that was such a fire line.
Woo!
A mist that melts in the morning. Like, sometimes the writers really do be cooking.
In their
Sometimes
duffel bag. Their duffel bag.
Duffel. They be in the safe. Because where did you pull that out of? My God. Like, that was a fire line.
That was incredible. And then he goes on his diatribe about how, hey, me and my sword used to be the word of justice. Now that the dragons are around, we useless. And then the ending line of the scene, to die will be a kind of release. So he's just done. He's done. I was about to do a spoiler. He's done. He just feels like he's like, all right,
Don't
bro. I've given up on
it.
life. I'm just here for vibes, and hopefully I can touch some cooch before I go.
But that's what I love about Sir Criston, is that he's one of the few characters in the show that's like, the dragons, like, in terms of like modern terminology, they're basically nuclear weapons. Like, these are nukes. Anytime a dragon rides out to war with us, we useless. We just there to be there. The dragons is what going to turn the tide of battle. The dragons is what's important. Like, all of the shit that we doing, forget about it. Forget about it.
He saw his whole army get, like, 900 of his men get burnt to dust.
Yeah.
And he had a 2-1 dragon lead. He blew a 2-1 lead.
It wasn't really a 2-1 lead because Vhagar wasn't even on their side. No. Vhagar burned Aegon. Like, he saw that happen with his own eyes. He was like, yeah, this man Aemond is not really trying to win the war. He just trying to win the throne.
He's an agent of chaos. He's an agent of chaos, out to get his lick back on everybody involved. They
should have never brought that pig out.
They should have never if they would have just kept the pig away and let my man keep his eye, we would have been in this situation.
I'm telling you, man, they should have never brought that pig out. They should have never took this man's eye, because now he's just out for blood. He want everybody dead.
He had to get that back in blood in a real way. So we touched on Tyland and Admiral Laura wrestling.
Yeah.
Coming at mud wrestling later, so we don't gotta get too deep into it. Outside of the note I took was, the Admiral's batshit crazy, and that was before she proposed cannibalism, and thought it was a joke.
She said it was a joke, right? Okay, yeah.
She said it was like, a joke afterwards, and I was like, oh, so that's her idea of humor. Confirmed. Batshit crazy. Confirmed.
Nah, she definitely reminds me of that one triarchy guy. What's his name? The crab feeder. She reminded me of the crab feeder. Like, she scared me. That's what I would say. Like, she scared me.
Yeah, she got some shit to her.
No, definitely.
And I don't even think we're at the craziest thing she said yet. We will get there. Don't worry. But we get to Jace and Baela next, and Baela, leave it to the black woman to come in and set you straight. Shout out to Baela.
Man, Baela's so beautiful. I'm sorry, I gotta segue for a second here to say
we always here to appreciate a black queen.
The actress that plays Baela, my God, that is a beautiful black queen.
I will find her name right now so that we can appreciate her in her rightful glory. Hold that thought. Because she needs to be appreciated. Name is Bethany Antonia.
Bethany Antonia. My God. Talk about casting a beautiful black queen. And not only that, but like you said, like while we're getting into that scene where she checks Jace and she's like, why are you over here pouting? Why are you over here, you know what I'm saying, on some sad shit?
Yeah, like, cut all that sad boy shit out, bro. We don't got time for that right now. Like, we don't got
time for that. She said lock in. Like nah.
Leave it to a black woman to set you straight, bro. And she was like, bro, you still stuck on this bastard shit? You think you're the first bastard of royal blood? You think you're the first one? Who cares?
That line, she was like, you think you're the first non-true born person, bread to a back. Like, nah, she really hit the nail on the head. She was like, "There's been bastards before you. There'll be bastards after you." Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're here. You got the heir, like, you're the heir to the throne. Like, stop all that crying shit. And she was not here.
And us with our additional Game of Thrones knowledge, we know that 2 of the Lannister Baratheon bastards ended up sitting on the throne.
Exactly. So, and not only that, but the prince who was promised was a bastard.
Also a bastard.
Yeah. So we already know Jon Snow. You know what I'm saying?
Bastards are pretty important. Just saying. We get another Rhaenyra's great adventure scene in between this scene and the next one, but we'll get there when that actually pays off. We get to Tyland was singing around the Triarchy gang, and I literally wrote down, they hoeing him out there in Essos, man. They hoeing him out. They making him sing. They making him dance in the mud. They making him bed. Tyland going out sad.
They made him a jester.
They definitely did.
Not a Lannister.
Nah, bro.
A Lannister wouldn't go out like this
at all. Tywin would never. Would never. Man,
Tyrion, crippled ass, would never.
Oh, and this is the part I brought up with the captioning that made me laugh. When he was correcting her name, his name to her, the captain said, "Feudally corrects her and says, Tyland." I laughed really hard. I was there like, damn. Even the caption people were like, yeah, man, he's giving up. He has no shot. My man Tyland really has no time for amusements. Call back to episode 1.
I will say, shout out to the actor, because he really plays a broken down man wonderfully. Like, I was getting Theon Greyjoy vibes from the way he was playing his, just defeated persona. Like, you just taking the L so beautifully. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you just taking your L and you're like, yeah, I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm broken down. I'm beaten.
And
crazy.
And the fun part about that is he also plays his arrogant brother. At first, exactly. I thought they was twins like the Cargills, but no, it's the same nigga. Like, it's the same guy who plays 2 very different people.
The Cargills are 2 different people?
Yeah, the Cargill twins, Eric and Arik, are 2 different people.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was the same person, like what you call it, like Tyland and the other one.
2 different people. Don't feel like Googling their names at the moment, but 2 different people.
Yeah, no, that's not important. But damn, like, Eric and Art, shout out them 2 people.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yep.
So we get to Lara. I'm gonna keep fucking her name up. The Admiral saying the wildest line of the show, shooting her shot something crazy. I want you to father my children, or I want you to something wild. And then said, I want you to all my wives. Not wife. Not some.
Tyland gonna say, how many wives do you have?
Asking the important questions. Important questions.
I'm sorry I put my phone, but like that was a crazy line. He said, how many wives do you have?
He has to see how much of his night is going to be taken up by this. It's like, all right, how long is this really about to go?
He said, how many women do I have to impregnate?
Exactly. Oh, man. Good times. We can get to Rhaenyra and the Dragon Seas having their dinner, and Ulf being just cartoonishly rude. Like,
first of all, why was Ulf at the head of the table? I didn't understand that. If anyone should be at the head of the table, it should be the first Dragon Seed or Jace. Either Adam or Jace.
But Jace got to be at his mama hand, you know what I'm saying? It got to be, that's the right-hand man statue was right. Yeah. So that makes sense. That had to be part of the vision. But no, point stands. Ulf definitely should not be at the head of the table. You talk about bring them little birds in here. Like,
he said, I want more birds. I want more wine. Throw that all my way.
Keep in mind, he's been getting drunk off the name Targaryen his entire life, and now he's actually on top of a dragon. And hey, man, Ulf's something crazy.
If I'm Ulf, I'm gonna take advantage too. because he over there, he living lavishly right now. He got wine, he got food. Like, remember the previous episodes, this man was in the bar drinking soup, barley soup. Now he over here with the chicken and the wine. Like, I would be living it up too.
I feel it, but you gotta be low. You gotta be low. I know you got a dragon now. They've been doing this dragon shit a lot longer than you. This ain't gonna go the way you think. This ain't gonna go the way you think.
But it's so crazy because, like, the previous episode, he was so scared to even try and get a dragon. His boys was like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? They recruiting Targaryen bastards. And he was like, well, my knee, you know what I'm saying? Like, my leg, if it was like that, I would go. But, like, I'm a little bit hurt right now. I can't. And then it was like, oh, you all tender, no spark. That was a fire line. He was like, you all tender, no spark. Like, yeah.
Sometimes these riders be in their duffel, man. I'm trying to tell you. But Rhaenyra goes to them and said, hey, we going to war in 2 days. So y'all go get trained.
She said, learn your Velaryon.
Learn it now. Go make some flashcards. We going to war in 2 days.
Doharis, Lakiri, learn them words.
Learn it. Burn it into your memory.
No facts.
Oh, man. Shout out to Adam for being the only dragon scene in this episode acting like they got some goddamn sense.
Man, I'm telling you, he's the only one that's about business.
He's
Lord
Coryls vouched for him. Hey, good dude.
Well done.
Well done.
Nigga said, well done.
Black fatherhood in a nutshell. We gonna get to Coryls a little bit later because Coryls on some shit. Daemon's still a Harrenhall. I thought we were done with the acid trips from Daemon, but I'm very grateful we got this one. This one I'm grateful for. After the Viserys one last episode, I was like, all right, man, enough of the hallucinations. I'm cool. We can go ahead and end it now. But he essentially watched all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones when he touched the Godswood tree.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that flashback with the blood pouring down his fingers as he touched the Godwood tree, and they showed us the Night King and everything that happened in Game of Thrones and some of the House of the Dragon, I was like, wow, this man Daemon getting the full recap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what's going on now. Like, he knows what's about to happen. So I'm just like, was Daemon as mad as us to see Bran on that? Because, like, he had to have seen that, right? And me, I'm just like, if Daemon saw Bran on the Iron Throne, he had to have been pissed. He had to have been upset. Because ain't no way he gonna see a Stark on the Iron Throne. This man has no Targaryen blood whatsoever. You just got a Stark sitting on the Iron Throne.
That's so
with Daemon knowing everything that he knows, he must have been pissed.
Daemon get on Westerosi Twitter like, this is an outrage. This is an outrage. Rewrite season 8, damn it.
Nah, that just reminds me. I gotta bring it up. It just reminds me of the funniest line from that season when they were like, yeah, we should let the common folk choose who should be the next king. And I forgot what it was. But one of the lords was like, oh yeah, I might as well just ask my horse who he wants to be king.
And they started geeking. The concept of democracy had them laughing their ass off. They were like, get out of here. We're not gonna ask these
people.
We're not gonna ask these poors what they think.
Yeah, they pulled a Jace.
They definitely pulled a Jace. They definitely pulled a Jace.
The mongrels? Okay. Going back to Daemon and the Godswood.
Yes. Him seeing I guess that was as if we didn't already have 3 beating us over the head. Okay, Daemon had to change of heart scenes. I guess that was supposed to be like the final nail in the coffin of Daemon had to change of heart because he saw Rhaenyra on the throne. And then he saw everything else that happened. I was like, all right, I guess it's destiny. Cool. Let me go bend this knee.
And that's why I have to bring it back to the writers, because I really feel like, if spoiler warning, if the books are true, and Daemon does end up betraying Rhaenyra, why did they give us this moment where he actually commits to Rhaenyra and he's like, okay, yeah, like, you know, this is my queen. I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit, but like that whole, like, you know, him seeing what happens, him seeing what's going to happen in the future. It's like, okay, you know, like knowing all of that, why did you still betray your queen?
So we're 2 scenes away from that, so we can go ahead and skip ahead. The other scene that happens in between here is Aemond trying to get, actually no, that one's pretty important, but just real quick before we do that, so I was listening to Ryan Condal getting interviewed by, it was either the HBO recap podcast or it was House of R on the Ringer, I can't remember which one, but they asked him about the Daemon Harrenhall things and he was like, nah, the book Harrenhall, Daemon getting Harrenhall in the Riverlands to heal is like 2 sentences. It was like, yeah, Daemon went to Harrenhall. Alice Rivers was a witch that was there. Daemon was immune to her powers. He got Harrenhall to bend the knee. And then they moved on. And he was like, wait a minute. I want to flesh this out. And since he decided to kind of go rogue and flesh it out, he guess he kind of needed to end. So if we do, spoiler alert, get to the point where he does turn on Rhaenyra, he's now going to have to add something else in to get us to a point to where that makes sense after we just saw an entire season of...
He has to justify it.
But how do I... So there's a character in the book that played a major role into this potential spoiler that is not in the show.
Right.
So so you do know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's like, again, I'm really trying not to deep dive in the spoiler thing. Like,
hey, listen. Watching this show, they should know that there's gonna be some spoilers here and there.
It's like left a pretty big hole in the plot. She's pretty goddamn important. As
From
far
what
as
I understand, they try to combine what's her name?
Rhaenyra.
With, like, they just made them one character. But from what I understand, Rhaenyra was also a dragon rider. She was literally the dragon rider through all this war, civil war, family, you know, infighting. So it's like, why would you do that? Why? But
bridges to be crossed later. All right, so obviously we couldn't skip this next scene, which was Aemond last ditch effort to try to get Helaena to fly. Obviously, white boy rage didn't work the first time, so let's try white boy tears. And I was like, this nigga crying? No, I know I give Aemond a bunch of shit. Ewan Mitchell, who plays Aemond, is fantastic. A lot of people,
one of the best actors on the show.
Facts.
Hands down.
There's a lot of really good ones. As I was rewatching season 2 earlier, getting ready to do this, I forgot how good Tom Glencarney was as Aegon until he got burnt the first half of this season. I almost forgot, like, those first couple episodes, how he was absolutely incredible, but not important. So Helaena finally admits that she sees shit and was like, I saw you burn Aegon. And Aemond didn't even question him, like, how. Aemond didn't dig deeper into, like, what, how, what do you mean? He just goes straight to, you're lying, that's treason.
He didn't even say you're lying. He just said what you're saying is treason. He didn't even deny it. If I remember correctly, he didn't deny it.
No, you are right. You are right.
Like, you speaking that out loud is treason. Just know that. Like, just know, like, if you want to talk that shit, know that, like, I could have you hanged for this. And that's his sister.
I mean, he fired his mom 2 episodes ago and burned his brother 3 episodes ago. Family don't mean nothing to Aemond.
Yeah, blood don't mean nothing to him.
Don't mean nothing. And also had his dragon eat his nephew.
Exactly. Water is thicker for this man.
Yeah,
he don't give
big facts.
Blood.
Big facts.
Yeah.
And Helena's player efficiency rating for this season, they didn't give her much to do, but oh buddy, every scene she's in, she's incredible. Every scene that we get Helaena in is
re-watching this season to build up to the finale. Every scene that she was in, She was like, I'm afraid. And Aegon was like, we have Vhagar protecting the city. She was like, no, not of the skies, of the rats. Like, she knew what was going to happen. She knew the rat catchers was one to watch. Man, I'm saying.
She really on her That's So Raven.
Exactly. She got visions.
She definitely got the visions. All right. Now, the Rhaenyra and Adam fly to Harrenhall. And boy, was Caraxi happy to see some. Caraxi was like, nah, niggas. I've been trying to get Daemon to leave here. I swear he won't listen. Please talk some sense into
that
him.
Next stretch. No. As soon as Caraxi heard Tyrax, that next stretch was serious. He said, huh?
Oh, thank God.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Get me out of here.
This nigga Daemon having visions and dreams. I'm just trying to go home to Dragonstone.
Please get me out. Where are my keepers? Where are my keepers?
Facts.
I ain't had no high quality sheep in a month. Get me out of here, please.
That man Caraxi is suffering under rain and all types of shit in Harrenhall. He just want to go home.
They don't got no dragon pit in Harrenhall. Caraxis has been going through it.
He just been outside. He's just been outside like Vhagar. You know what I'm saying? Just out there. Yeah.
Just out there protecting all these niggas he don't know.
That one scene when Daemon was about to step and Alice stopped him. I know Caraxes was sick.
Pissed. So the actual meat of the scene, Emma Darcy goes into her queen mode again, and I pointed this out last week how every time that Rhaenyra has to do like queenly things, the voice get deeper. She get the huss. She get the like every single time we get one of those scenes, because Emma Darcy's incredible. She's like, all right, I gotta buff up a little bit.
You stand with a dragon of House Targaryen
and
like
stood on it, not messing around. Love Emma Darcy. Love Emma Darcy. And we get into another high Velaryon conversation between them, which unfortunately I don't have the whole transcript in front of me like I would if I was doing this on Wednesday. But the summary of it is, it's the payoff to Aegon's dream. Although Viserys never told Daemon that, he saw it in the vision, so he was able to go, we need a ruler that's going to keep the realm together, and my brother thought it was you. And clearly, I done fucked up the Riverlands for this whole season, so it's not me. So we gonna go ahead and bend this knee. I'm going to give the Harrenhall army this Braveheart speech, and we going to go ahead and get it cracking in 2 years.
The important thing from that scene, I feel like, from their exchange, was the fact that Daemon told Rhaenyra, like, yes, I believe it is you. You are the one that we need to sit on the throne so we can unite the realm for the sake of the conqueror's dream.
And he finally admits it. Only possibly for him to ruin it later. Not important. So
yeah, not important, but at least he admitted it. He said it in Valyrian, so like, he didn't have to, sacrifice, his face in front of the other people. Like, they didn't understand what the fuck they were talking about. So, he could pretend like, yeah, like I was just talking to my queen, about this, that, and the third. But like, he did straight up admit to her, like, yeah, you were the one that's promised.
Facts. And shout out to the admission, bending the knees to the queen, which I guess we all got to do at some point. Well, if you're into it, depending on your sexuality.
When he bent the knee, I didn't think it was going to happen. I did not see that coming at all, because when he bent the knee, he did it in front of everybody in attendance in that room. And for Daemon to do that in front of everybody, that's, what I'm saying? That's huge. Big on Daemon. Yeah, because Daemon has a lot of pride. And after all the Viserys visions and, the little flashbacks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was really going to go for the crown. But for him to bend the knee, I was like, okay.
He got the message. He got the message. Message received.
Yeah, message received. Maybe not now. Later, he might you know what I'm saying, betray Shawty. But for now, you know what I'm saying, he's by his queen's side.
All right, we're rounding closer to the end of the episode now. We got like maybe 5-ish more scenes left. One of them is incredibly long, but we'll get there. We're back to Driftmark. We go. Alyn and Coryls. We finally get the bastard son lash out. Now, before we get to the lash out, the Sea Snake Army, the Fits go crazy. The Fits on the Sea Snake Army go crazy. They go crazy. You know
that blue drip,
the blue,
that
with
blue green drip,
with the seahorse, bro.
That turquoise drip.
Before we get to that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air ass scene, to hell with him. We gotta focus on the fact that they had that shit on. We gotta focus on the things that matter. Is that Alyn and Coryls objectively had that shit on? So, all right. So to summarize what was going on in the scene, this really struck a chord with you. So I'll just give my broad summary, and I'm just going to clear out and let you cook. Alyn finally lets him have it, and it's like, Nick, you only paying attention to me because you have no heirs left.
Yo. That delivery was so fire. He said, you lost your son, you lost your daughter, you lost your heir, Lucerys, and now you see fit to look in my direction because you have nobody left to take your throne, to hold on to your legacy. Like, this man in the previous episode straight up told him, like, all that dragon riding shit that my brother's doing, I don't care about
Not
that.
for me.
I don't need a dragon. I am of soul and sea. He says soul and sea. And when he said that, you can see the look in Coryls' eyes. He was like, this might be my future heir. And then when he came back, he doubled back this episode and said, like, yeah, you know, you should be my future heir. Like, not in so many words, but like, he was basically like, yeah, you know, like, I can see.
He tried to groom him without grooming him. You know what I mean?
He tried to groom him without grooming him. And Alyn wasn't going like that.
No.
He was like, brother, you only want me because you had nobody else. You don't have nobody else to choose in your corner, and now you want me. Get out of here. Get out of here. And you know what? Alyn's a real one because he's like, I don't want people to look at me and think that I'm where I am because you happen to have fathered me. Like, you happen to be my bastard father. Like, nah. I got where I got because of my own merit, because of who I am, because I'm that guy. I'm him. Not because I'm your son, but because I'm him. So yeah, respect to Alyn. I got my rant off, you know what I'm saying? Like that scene was fire.
Like I said, that Fresh Prince ass scene. I learned how to play ball without him, and I got pretty good, huh? Like that dead ass was Fresh Prince.
You know what?
I'm gonna give you a nice little honey and raise some nice ass kids, and I won't need him at all. To hell with
him. Like, nah, it was a beautiful Fresh Prince scene. No, facts.
That real life, that actually is what happened in that whole scene. All right.
No, facts.
All right, what we got next? Rhaenyra's great adventure finally pays off. She sees Sheep Stealer finally. We didn't get to see the claiming after watching her go through the forest and all that. Didn't get to see the actual claiming scene. We just saw them look into each other's eyes. So I guess season 3 is probably going to open with her riding on the dragon or whatever. Like,
I guess. We'll see.
I guess. And we get the Rhaenyra and White Worm scene next. And I only made it notable because it's more of the gods are in your favor bullshit. It's more of I'm the ordained ruler, the gods. Oh my God, I'm destined to do this. The same things that they were alluding to last episode. So the next season when Rhaenyra get on her bullshit, we're like, hey, she thinks God's the one doing it.
I mean, she is pressed on this whole, like, you know, ordained shit. Like, she really does believe that she is the ordained ruler. She is the one that needs to lead the realm into peace and unity and defend against, you know, the Night King and the death that's coming. But honestly, I feel like out of everybody in the show, and when I say in the show, I mean like the actual characters, not the actors. I feel like out of everybody in the Thrones universe, Cregan Stark is the only one that really understands what it is that they're facing, and he's the only one that's really prepared for what they're facing. Like Rhaenyra might think she's on that type of time, but she really not.
Oh, so funny, because when I was watching episode 1, it was like, you really think my ancestors built 700 foot of wall and ice to keep out snow and savages?
Yeah, like he was like, do you think we're really out here trying to keep out snow and savages? Like,
we ain't scared. No, we ain't scared of them.
This is about something that you don't even understand. Like Jace was over there, like, you know, like, oh, like, isn't it winter already? It feels pretty cold out here to me. And
like,
he was like,
no sir, no sir.
This is not winter.
You
don't know what winter is.
You, my sweet summer child. You have no idea what is going on here.
Sweet summer child.
You have no idea what you are in for. All right, so fact. I haven't been on any reaction, been on Twitter or nothing, so I don't know how this scene is being received, the next scene. But if I had to guess, Alicent coming to Dragonstone is not going to be received very well by the House of the Dragon public. But let me try to shoot the creator some bail here, the same way I did with the crypt scene. We want more scenes of Olivia Cook and Alicent together. I mean, of Olivia Cook and Emma Darcy together. So here we are. And it is the longest scene of the episode. It's good. Don't get me wrong. And maybe I'll be able to appreciate it more in my second watching. But I was like, oh my God, this scene is long. That's all I kept thinking. I was like, oh my God, this scene is so long. They're still going.
I was so upset. And the reason why I was upset was because, like you said, there was just no explanation. We just cut to the next scene, and Alicent is just standing there, waiting for Rhaenyra. And on top of that, we got Rhaenyra's King's Guard, like Queen's Guard, I guess, technically, Queen's Guard, just standing there. Her maids are standing there. And she's like, clear the room. As if, like, none of these people are gonna snitch and be like, yeah, Alicent was in Dragonstone. Like, these people that you got talking about clear the room, like, they definitely gonna snitch. They definitely gonna say, like, yeah, Alicent was in Dragonstone. Alicent came to see Rhaenyra. Like, come on now.
Rhaenyra can't even slap a guard without it becoming gossip. You think the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms pulling up on you is not going to make some news? You think that's not going to add some whispers?
Come on now. Like, literally, at the beginning of the season, was it this beginning of the season or like the last season? Otto Hightower said something very profound.
Yeah, it was the beginning of this season.
He was like, when the king speaks, the realm listens.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be the king for that line to be applicable. The queen showing up in Dragonstone, yeah, some heads are gonna be wagging about that.
Yeah, no,
people gonna be talking about that.
That's gonna be on TMZ in the morning. Like I feel like we're gonna see that one. Like that one's gonna make some headlines. So okay,
but yeah,
okay. Now we can talk about the contents of the actual scene. And every time Alicent gets on her I chose the wrong side, I usually play Francesca Lee's I Never Thought the Leopards Would Bite My Face. That song every single time.
That's one of my favorite joins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. So future Kevin, if you could edit that in right here. Thank you, sir. Yeah. And that's basically the summary of this whole scene. It's her admitting to Rhaenyra, yo, these leopards bit my face. I can't believe it. And Rhaenyra's sitting there like, no duh. No, I tried to tell you. No duh. but you wanted to be Miss Virtuous, and now look at you, face all bit up by the leopards.
It was just so funny because she really thought that once Aegon was like burnt up and no longer viable, that she could just assume control, as if you didn't already, you know what I'm saying, turn up Rhaenyra and pass her on because she's a woman. Like, you thought you as a woman, Alicent, could assume any type of control?
Big goofy.
In a council full of men?
Goofy.
Come on now.
Goofy.
The leopard that ate your face.
They bit her all the way up. And they sitting there going back and forth and was like, hey, if you just come and you spare my life, and we'll do that. And Rhaenyra's like, yo, it's too late for that. Remember, you told me it's too late. I need your son's head. Ain't no way around it. I need your son's head.
Alicent was really trying to put together a plan. She was like, yeah, you come to King's Landing in 2 days with your dragon. You know, Aemond will be gone by then. And you can just assume control. You know, I'll sit down. I'll let you assume control. And Rhaenyra's like, girl,
nah.
You know I need your son's head.
Yeah, no.
Like, I can't take the throne without your son being dead. Like, that's not what I want to do, but that's what I have to do.
Like, you pushed me here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I feel bad for Alicent, honestly. Like I said, you know, this episode really did have me feeling for Team Green because, you know, Helaena, Alicent, even Sir Criston in the woods with Gwayne, like, you know, I was just like, you know what, this team, they're here because of Otto. At the end of the day, everyone is here because of Otto. Otto was the one that put all this together, masterminded all of this.
I mean, Otto pretty down bad himself. That's in the next scene in the little montage to end the episode.
Oh yeah,
Otto locked
like,
up.
He in
like,
prison?
They didn't show which prison Otto's locked up in, but he's caught up somewhere.
When I saw him, yeah, I was like, Otto's in prison? Like, as a non-book reader, I was shocked. I was like, Otto in prison?
I'm desperately trying to avoid book spoilers, but yeah. So the final montage I thought was a team suit up, and I was like, all right, we're going to war. Until I was like, something in me was like, hey Kev, click your remote button real quick. See how much time is left in this episode. And I was like, this is the end of the I was like, this is the end of the season. And my last two notes were, no fucking way that's how it ended. Oh, people are going to be pissed. that's literally the last two lines. People are gonna be pissed.
I will say this. Seeing Hugh, Adam, and Ulf get all kitted up, dressed up, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, my guys are going to war. My guys are getting ready for the fight. And like you, I did click to see like how much time was left in the episode. And when I saw that I had like 5-10 minutes left, I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
You telling me I'm just going to get a dress up sequence? I'm just going to get these guys, you know what I'm saying, putting on their outfits for war, and I don't even get to actually see the fight. I don't get to see them out in the what do you call it? The gullet, the trenches.
Ooh,
like,
ooh.
That's what it's called, right? The gullet, right?
Yeah, but if we spoil what happens in the gullet, I feel like I won't be able to go around any nerd with my head still on my shoulders. So I would like to. I quite like my head, so I would like to keep it there. So summary: the last team montage.
In my head,
we get more of Rhaenyra's great adventure. We get the Hightower army with Tessarion, Prince Daeron's dragon, the blue queen, without seeing Prince Daeron on it because they have not cast him yet.
But Tessarion do got a beautiful coat. You know what I'm saying? That's a
nice
fire
coat.
dragon.
Nice coat. Yeah. Nice little coat. They thought Sunfire was pretty.
Exactly.
Daeron said, "Hold my scales."
Like Tasarion got that drip.
Yeah, definitely. North Army finally made its way down. We saw the Stark banners. The Lannister army is on its way over. A lot of gray beards. Lot of old dudes. But they will fight like Northerners. So they're going to be in the field. Like, that's another thing I remember when I was watching the first episode of this season, that Cregan Stark's accent was so goofy. But
they'll fight like Northerners.
Like Northerners. Old duties. All right. Let me close this out. So, Daemon's looking at his troops. The Lannister army's coming. We get another slow motion Alicent scene. Tyland and the trichachy are flying over. Alyn and the Sea Snake are bringing the fleet. We got Otto locked up. Aegon and Larys took off. They look like they're
sailing somewhere.
Yeah. Somewhere. And that's the point where I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is really how the episode's going to end. As Emma Darcy's looking off in the distance again. And I'm just like, oh, so last season ends with her staring off in the distance. And this season ends with her staring off in the distance. And we're still not okay. I guess. I guess that's how it ends.
You know, I still have to give credit to the writers. They really want us to like Team Black. They really want to make Rhaenyra, position Rhaenyra as sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Tragic villain, I guess. Like, they really want us to feel bad for her. And it's like, you know, if you want us to, you know, associate with Rhaenyra and, you know, feel for Rhaenyra, just give us the meat of the story. Stop focusing on her every single last season finale. Like you said, like, they just focused on her at the end of the episode, her spin off in the distance. Like, we don't need that. If you really want us to feel for her, then give us some writing, some script that we can actually feel for her.
And they did a lot more fleshing out of Rhaenyra in this show than there is in the book. Because in the book, I'm grossly minimizing it right now, but deal with it. Essentially, everyone loved her until she had all her kids. She got fat, and then people turned on her.
Okay,
is essentially what ends up happening throughout before this war started, which is why she had to go through much trouble of calling her banner. She went from the realms, the light, to ash. Her body changed. She's a mother now. Again, George R. R. Martin's a horny toad, so that, of course, that's the part he's focused on. So I am happy they took the time to flesh her out more, but positioning her as the protagonist in the story, I do think does the story a disservice, because, like with all Game of Thrones stories, the point's supposed to be that everyone sucks.
Exactly. Like, when you go back to the original Game of Thrones, there came a point where Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen became such important focal points that the story revolved around them and suffered because of that revolving around them and focusing on making them the protagonist instead of focusing on the fact that we have a lot of great characters that all bring something to the story. And now we're falling into the same trap with House of the Dragon, where Rhaenyra, and, you know, that's just the writers focusing on Rhaenyra, but the fans being in love with Daemon and Matt Smith, now we've got like a focus on Daemon, where, like, I don't believe, like, I'm not a book reader, so I can't speak on it, but I don't believe Daemon was this important, this, you know, pivotal in terms of like the story, the way that the show is treating Daemon, because of, you know, fan service.
In this specific part of the book where he's in Harrenhall, you are correct. For the rest of the story, no. But I'll give the writers credit on this, because one of my biggest critiques of season 1 was, dear God, y'all did such a bad job of fleshing out Team Green. Y'all did such a terrible job of making us give even a crescent of a fuck about Alicent's kids. They fixed it in like 2 episodes. in season
Too
2.
much love for Team Black.
Too much Team Black, which was what made the marketing of this season so weird, where it was like, pick a side. I'm like, dude, y'all position Team Black as the side of righteousness.
Side to pick,
yeah, like y'all telegraph what side to pick the entire time. And it's like, no, the point's supposed to be that both of them suck.
I feel like the only reason why anybody would give a fuck about Team Green is because of Helaena.
Yeah.
We love Helaena.
We all love Helaena. Even Rhaenyra loves Helaena. We all love Helaena. All right. That pretty much covers it all. I was going to try to do a prediction segment, but there's no way I can do that without, So Wonk, I want to thank you so much for coming on with me. Definitely a pleasure.
Hey, thank you for having me.
If some more nerd shit happens between now and obviously I'm not gonna wait till 2026 to have you back on here. So whenever some giant nerd event happens, I'm gonna bring you back on here. Guys, I know we are upset the season is over, but do not cry because it is over. Smile because it happened. This has been a Kev BK Beloved
one
show.
thing I will say before we shut out. You
fucked up my outro.
One thing I will say before we shut out. Man, what a great season we had. Like, let's just give it up for the writers, the actors, everybody that was involved in the production of this House of the Dragon season 2, because without this show, what would we be talking about, right? We wouldn't be over here providing y'all with this content. So,
fair point.
Fair
point. You are forgiven for fucking up my outro. Fair point.
Thank you.
Point. All right. This has been the Cat VK Beloved show. I've been Cat VK Beloved. We will catch y'all next week.